In this video, I'm going to cover the most important concepts of Shopify email marketing that I have learned over the last 6 years, having generated over $50 million in revenue for some of the biggest e-commerce brands in the world. And if you stick with me to the end, I've got one bonus that I promise you will be worth every second that you spend, because I'm going to make sure that this video is packed with gold nuggets, no fluff, straight to the point. So by the end, you walk away knowing how you can go to the brand that you work for, that you run, and know exactly what to tell your team to scale up retention marketing in a way that is highly profitable and simple. My name is Noah. I run Duh Retention, which is a retention agency for e-commerce Shopify brands. And over the last 6 years, I've generated over $50 million in revenue for some of the fastest growing brands in the world. And I gotta say, there are a lot of people these days who are jumping into email marketing, retention marketing, lifecycle marketing. And I think they've got great intentions, but a lot of the things that you'll see on Twitter, on YouTube are tactics. They're not really strategies or concepts. So in this video, I just wanted to shoot a quick yapping style video as if I were talking to my younger self. This video is not for beginners. This is for people who either run a brand, have a team that is running their retention marketing, or they're looking to hire this in-house in order to scale up retention and lifecycle. I'm gonna be walking through 10 pillar concepts that if you focus just on these 10 things, you will generate 30 to 50% of all your future revenue from email, SMS, and list growth marketing. Number 1, obsess over list growth. List growth is the fuel of your email marketing, hands down. There are too many brands out there who are looking to gamify this. They're trying to buy lists from aggregators. They're trying hacky ways of finding additional emails to potentially spam. And while that might have worked in 2016, 2018, that does not work in 2026. The only people you should be emailing are people who actually know who you are and have been on your website. And believe it or not, those little pop-up flyouts that you see on the homepage and product page of some of the most popular e-commerce brands, that welcome pop-up is responsible for over 80% of all net new list growth. Crazy, I know. What you probably don't know is in these welcome pop-ups, the way that the technology is going with a lot of the new pop-up providers that are out there is you can religiously test your offers, your copy, your design, your creative, even dynamic welcome flows that follow up those pop-ups to give rich, unique experiences to customers that not only drives email list growth through the roof, but also increases the likelihood of a customer purchasing within the first 7 days of coming to your brand's website. If you're not testing your welcome pop-ups and acquisition offers on a monthly basis, you need to start today. 2, offer over everything. So I actually got my start in the world of e-commerce with copywriting back when I was in college. I started reading all of these books from some of the greats, the Ogilvies, the Halberts, the Blyes, and I fell in love with direct response. But when it comes to email marketing, copy does not trump all. The biggest driver of a high converting email is the offer. I don't care who you are or what you sell, but I guarantee you I could create and launch the highest converting email campaign in your history by simply saying 2 words: everything free. If we created a campaign where it just said everything free with a call to action underneath and all the products on your website were free for 10 minutes, that would be obviously the highest converting campaign ever, because the offer is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. But to understand and start getting in the mindset of what makes a good offer, you need to jump to what is a 12 out of 10 offer, and then walk yourself back to reality of what makes sense from a margin profile. What can we legitimately do? So when you're thinking about your email campaigns, always start with the offer and then backfill your way into the content, the copy, and the creative. Because if you do it like that, your campaigns are gonna have a stronger foundation and you'll start seeing some of your highest performing campaigns to date. 3, mutually exclusive segmentation. Whenever you see those brands or agencies with millions of segments, all these crazy flows with, trees that have branches on branches on branches, you really don't need that. It's more for show than anything. But one thing you've got to be sure is when you create your segmentation, you need to have buckets of customers that do not cross with each other. Because if they do, you really can't read the data. You can't get any real insights from it. For example, most email marketers tend to do segmentation in this way. They'll create some kind of criteria of what an engaged user is based on opens, clicks, browsing the website, you name it. Then they'll create buckets of customers based on the time frame that they did those actions. So let's say 30-day engaged, 90-day engaged, and 180-day engaged. The thought process behind those segments is perfect. It's actually what we do at Duh Retention. But where we deviate is making sure that each of those buckets do not cross with each other. Most marketers will set it to where the 30-day engaged bucket is someone who is engaged from the first day to the 30th day. So rather than having these unique buckets of customers, somebody who has engaged in the last 180 days also lives in the segment of the 90-day bucket and the 30-day bucket. Which, when it comes to execution, that's okay. All the email service providers like Klaviyo and OmniSend and SendLane, they deduplicate, so it's not like you're sending multiple campaigns through like 3 times to customers, right? But from a tracking perspective, checking out the engagement, the revenue per recipient levels, the fluctuations of people jumping from one bucket to another bucket month over month. Those are the insights you can't get when your segmentation is not mutually exclusive. So when you create your segments, however you decide to do it for your brand, just make sure your segments don't overlap. Number 4, send more emails. Sending more emails is one of the easiest, lowest hanging fruit things you can do today to meaningfully increase the revenue you're getting from email marketing every single month. Sending more emails is the instant, meaningful way that you could start driving incrementally valuable revenue from your email marketing program. The biggest pushback that I get is they're worried about spamming their customers. Nobody wants to be that annoying brand that is just spamming someone infinitely into the earth until the day that they feel like they have to DM the Better Business Bureau. But everybody grossly overestimates just how much you need to email or text somebody before they truly get annoyed and want to flag you for spam. Right now, I'm working with a brand where we're sending over 50 emails a month. And you might be thinking, how can you send that many and not get people just knocking at your door trying to like burn you down for how much you're spamming? But the only thing you need to do is 3 things. 1, segment properly. Make sure you're watching how engagement is fluctuating week over week, adding in exclusions for recent purchasers so you're not spamming them. Second, look at your unsubscribe rates. The easiest way to know is checking your soft stats. One of those being unsubscribes. But in a lot of reporting platforms, you can actually look at what the unsubscribe rate is per segment. And the third is spam rate. This is where a prospect actively deems your email spam. They click the 3 toggle buttons in Yahoo or Gmail and flag you for spam. When you see spam go up, that is actually more risky than your unsubscribe rate going up. Reason being, if you get enough spams from customers, the Outlooks, Yahoos, and Gmails of the world will punish you at an IP reputation level and an inbox reputation level. But again, I don't say this to scare you. I just say this because now that you know this, you have a directional indicator through your unsubscribe rate and your spam rate to make sure that when you're sending higher volumes of email, you simply know where to look, what to measure, and feel confident sending more emails without worrying. 5, upsell first, cross-sell second. At my agency, we actually specialize working with what we call category-rich brands. So think home goods, travel, and after running thousands of tests and looking at dozens and dozens of product journeys and cohort charts, I can tell you that it is far more lucrative to upsell rather than cross-sell. If you're a knife company and you sell knives and aprons and pans, if someone buys a knife, give them more knives. Then if they don't convert, try to get them on aprons, try to get them on pants. On average, customers are 70% more likely to buy more of the thing they already bought than they are crossing the chasm into a new, unique product line. Give customers more of what they want. Always remember, give them more before you give them different. 6, study your product journeys and cohorts. Now, this is a bit more advanced, but in the day and age we live in, with Claude Code and Codex and Replit, you can easily vibe code yourself your own tool to chart out the product journeys of your brand. Product journeys typically look something like this. You see where a lot of your customers are starting with hero product A and then tracking what their second order is. Do they buy more of product A? Do some go into product B? Or which ones are going into product C? This helps you craft the post-purchase experience of your brand in email and SMS to try and maximize the LTV of every single customer that comes to your site. Cohort tables show you how much money you're making from your customers every single month as more people come they return and they buy more. For example, let's say you have a huge promotion in January where you offered 30% off your most popular products. And let's just say you had 1,000 people in January order. You want to track those 1,000 customers to say, okay, which ones came back? How much did they spend? What is the time frame between those orders? And ultimately, at what month did we break even, or even better, profit? Cohort tables are your number one tool to find out what your customers are actually worth and how to get more value out of them over time, hands down. 7. Demographic is greater than engagement tactics. I've looked under the hood of hundreds of e-commerce brands, and I can tell you, some of these brands are just flat out lucky because their customers just happen to be way more engaged in their emails than another brand that actually might even have a better email marketing program. For example, in the past, I used to work with a giveaway brand, and their entire business model revolves around giving away a $250,000 rig, a truck, a tractor, and a trailer every 6 to 8 weeks. And all customers had to do was simply buy their merchandise. That brand had an amazing demographic of customers for 2 reasons. 1, the products that they were giving away attracted blue-collar workers. That created this cascading effect where any email that we sent out to them not only got high engagement and high conversion, we never had to worry about unsubscribes or spams going through the roof. Second was the nature of their business model. Because all of their customers were just waiting for the next giveaway and trying to figure out ways that they could increase their entries, we were able to gamify all of their emails and send a ridiculous volume of them because customers literally wanted to see the emails. More emails meant more chances for entries. So when I say that a brand lucks into a good demographic, I'm simply saying, if you're a brand owner or you're on the marketing team of a brand, don't take it to heart. Number 9, gamify the inbox. With everything that's happening in the world of email marketing, with Gmail rolling out so many new AI features and iOS updates coming left and right, making it more and more impossible for marketers to track what people are doing with their emails, you've got to gamify the inbox. Whether it's in your flows or your campaigns, you need to start sending emails that aren't necessarily geared for engagement or conversion, more so just trying to get people to do and take specific actions to show email providers you're not only a reputable sender, but people actually enjoy opening and reading and engaging in your emails. One way you can do this today is incorporating a founder plain text email in your welcome flow and asking customers to respond to it by clicking reply. You've got to remember, you're catering to Gmail, to Outlook, to Yahoo. If they see more customers opening, clicking, replying to, adding you to their favorites, staying on your emails longer, these are a handful of millions of signals that these email providers look at to see, is this person reputable and are they sending good things? I guarantee you, over the long tail, you will see better engagement and better soft stats. You will be better off than any other brand who is simply trying to send emails just to get quick sales. Number 10, heavy on prospects, light on customers. The golden window of converting a new email subscriber is within the first 30 days of them jumping on your email list. In that period of time, you want to have as many pre-purchase automations and evergreen campaigns sending to them in that 30 days. Customers, on the other hand, are a bit different. These are people who are bought in. They've literally put down their credit card and given you money, for better, for worse. So you need to take it easier on them. What I'm trying to get across is you need to hammer prospects who have not purchased from you and treat your customers like royalty. If they've just recently bought from you, they probably don't need to hear from you for the next little bit. And if you're a brand that is on subscription, that is even more important to exclude active subscribers, because the more you send notifications and updates to people who are already buying your stuff, you're just giving them more of a reason to stop. Go heavy on prospects, go light on customers. Those are the 10 retention marketing tips that I wish I could tell my younger self. If you're a brand owner, marketer, or any email marketer who is working with a brand right now, go ahead, implement at least 3 to 4 of these tips, and I guarantee you, you'll be much better off than you were before you watch this video. Future me here. I totally forgot to shoot the bonus that I promised you at the beginning of this video, so I'm giving it to you now. If you're a brand that's doing over $500,000 a month in top line Shopify sales, I will personally do a full retention audit for you for free. I'll take 3 days and jump into Klaviyo, Shopify, PostScript, Attentive, every single platform that you use to run your retention marketing. I'll do a deep dive of your retention marketing to pinpoint all the golden nuggets and low-hanging fruit that you could take advantage of that you're not doing now. And I'll do it for free. All you got to do is go to theretention.com or click the link in the description, book a time, and then we'll chat. Appreciate the time. See you in the next one.